Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Kydrees Burks podcast. I apologize, everybody. I have not been around the last couple weeks. It's kind of been a whirlwind of emotions, exams, figuring out internships, doing all the things, and I really haven't had time. And it's no excuse, but glad to be back on here today. Um, Sorry to the people that are used to me having a suit on. Today they are like right there, so I could have done that, but kind of running short on time today, so I didn't really want to have to deal with the hassle of all of that. So I'm just gonna hop on here today and sit and chat about what's going on the last week. So shit, I haven't done one of these since the one with Clara. Yeah, so I mean, last week was a pretty busy week. Um, just preparing. I had an exam on Friday last week, and it's in French. So I was studying hard for that. French is definitely not my strong suit, but I can say this: bonjour, bonjour, madame, or bonjour, monsieur. Je m'appelle Kaidris. Comment allez-vous? Or comment ça va? Or I can say j'aime aller. I don't know. I suck. I'm so bad at no matter how much I study, I feel like I never get it. That's one thing that is hard for me to get is language. New language is for some reason hard for me to pick up. Um Never really was good at Spanish. But so the week was kind of busy, and I actually shot one last week just talking about J. Cole's new song called Clouds, but it dragged on entirely way too long. You guys don't need to hear me talk for an hour about uh, a 4 minute song. You know what I mean? So I just didn't put that out um, just because it didn't feel like it would be received well or anything. Not that that matters, but it was just so far away from anything that I had done before. Just didn't know if that was kind of the vibe. But last weekend, I couldn't put one out on Sunday because I usually shoot those either Friday or Saturday, and I had a crazy weekend. I had some friends come up on Friday, and we went bowling Friday night, and I cooked their ass in bowling. Um, and these kids, they've been like bowling every single week, and they've been talking so much shit. They're like, you're gonna get feel the wrath of these of this bowl, which I think is like a little crazy to bowl as like an amateur sport. Yeah, like that's crazy to me to bowl every single week and want to get better at it, want to buy a bowling ball, all of these things. That's like becoming a professional darts thrower. It's like, yeah, you're getting good at drinking games. But that was fun. I enjoy a good bowl every once in a blue moon. Um, I would say I'm decent at it. I think I bowled a 130 and then a 140. It was just very average, uh, a very average performance. But to go into Saturday, Saturday was our Penn State patties, and we threw a party for state patties, and it was just an absolute shit show. Um, well, shit show for me. A lot of people had a lot of fun, and they had a good time, and I'm glad they did because I like to be whenever we're hosting something. I never want to be looked at as a bad host, but that comes with an extent of respect, right? I don't want to be looked at as a bad host, but when I go other places, I'm never a bad guest. So if there is a bad guest, I'll be the one to fucking kick him out. I don't care. I don't care. If you're going to disrespect my house, I'm going to disrespect you. You may think I'm wrong for that, but um don't care. So in the morning, I went downtown. I hung out with some friends. Had a couple drinks downtown, just a couple few, nothing too crazy. And I came back up here around noon. And again, I live in the basement. I feel like I said this a couple times on the podcast, but just to give you a better understanding, I live in the basement, and here I'll even show you. If you look up, like you saw right there, it's literally just the wood floor of our living room. So in between those cracks, like there's nothing in between those cracks. Like they're not filled with anything, not filled with paint or anything. It's just the cracks, right? So the first problem was that our bathroom, somebody was leaning, like sitting on our sink or leaning on our sink in some manner in which it was already kind of pulling off the wall. Our house is not what you would call a well built house, but it's cheap and it's a college house. It's like, what can you expect? But somebody was leaning or sitting on the sink, and the pipe broke or whatever. The pipe broke, something like that. The pipe came disconnected. Metal pipe came disconnected from the PVC. Mind you, I'm not a plumber. Nobody else is a plumber. We're like, okay, we need to figure out how to limit the damage, right? So water from the sink upstairs in the bathroom. Mind you, my bed is right under the sink in the bathroom. So when this thing's leaking water in the bathroom, when it's leaking on the floor of the bathroom, guess where that goes? Guess where all that water goes? It doesn't just dry up. It leaks downstairs onto my bed. So immediately I had to move my bed and everything under it and like just get it out of the way of the water. But then I'm like, I'm closing this fucking bathroom. We have two bathrooms. Mind you, this wasn't even supposed to be an inside party. It was supposed to be an outside party. We were supposed to lock the doors and then use the bathroom of the neighbors who has a basement bathroom for all the muddy shoes because it was wet and muddy outside or whatever. But it just started leaking on my bed. So I'm like, all right, yeah, we need to close this fucking bathroom down. So we have these barriers that we may not have picked up on a game day. But they're like police barriers. Like they're big ass wooden barriers that clearly, if they're set up, not to pass it. It's not something you look at and you think, oh, they're setting up an obstacle course for us to get to the fucking bathroom. No, it's not an obstacle course. It means don't go there. All right? And so somebody did take down these barriers. Mind you, none of my roommates, nobody that lives here. After I told everybody, look, downstairs bathroom's closed, you can use the upstairs. Somebody takes down these two barriers and then uses the fucking bathroom. I'm downstairs. I see water starting to leak from the bathroom again down onto my floor while I'm trying to wash, like while I'm washing my sheets and my blankets and everything that got all wet from the drippage. But I see it, I'm like, what the fuck? I literally just closed that shit. So I walk upstairs. Mind you, I'm not in the best of moods when this happens. Like, I just got shit all over my bed. Like, not in the best mood. And I'm a little tipsy, so I'm just mad. Um, so I walk upstairs. I'm like, I knock on the, I start banging on the door. I'm like, get the fuck out. Get out. Come out of the bathroom. This kid comes out of the bathroom. Never seen him before in my life. I say, you didn't see the barriers? You didn't see all the shit set up so that you didn't go in there? He's like, I did, but I didn't know that meant not to go in there. I said there was three different barriers to get you to not go in there. Why would you think that you should be able to go in there? Whoa! I said, get out. Get out. Leave my house. You can't respect it. Get out. I don't know you. He said, oh, well, I know. Elliot's the one that invited me here. I said, Elliot's not here. He's not here. Get out. Now, I might have said it with a more aggressive tone than that, but pretty much I'm just like, listen, I'm not here to pick a fight with you. I'm not here to fight you. I'm not here to literally have to throw you out of my house, but I'll do all of that. I don't want to. I don't want to do all that. I just want you to get the fuck out my house. You can't respect my house, and then you're shitting on me too. If you can't respect my house, get out. I might have, yeah, again, and I might have used different language, used more vulgar language to convey that message, but like I said, you disrespect me, I'm gonna disrespect you back. But so then I'm like, all right, that shit's handled. Like I set up the barriers again, and I yelled to the entire party. I made sure everybody heard it. Well, everybody was kind of fucking looking at me because I was crashing out. Like I was going off because I was getting shit on. But I made it known to like the whole party. Listen, no going to the bathroom in the downstairs until it is fixed. Until there's no barriers, make sure nobody goes in that fucking bathroom. Because if one more person goes in that bathroom, I might burn this fucking place down. Dead at like that's where I was at in that moment. I was like, I will. I took a line from my very good friend Elijah. We'll burn this fucking place down. I will set that nigga on fire. Like I will set you on fire, bro. Get out of my house. That's so that is just a that's just a funny kind of one of the funniest insults. Like I it was Halloween this year. We throw a party for Halloween, and Elijah's like, "Let me work the door. Let me be like the doorman." Like, all right, well, you charge people like 5, $10 to get in. Why not? Just make sure you break me off. But so he's out there like doing whatever, and then I get somebody like runs into me. They're like, "Yo, Kydris, you need to come outside and get Elijah off that goddamn door. He's out there screaming at a kid." And I'm like, "All right, I need to go out and see this." So I walk outside, and there's Elijah screaming at this kid, And he's like, nah, bro, you're not allowed in here. Get the fuck out of here. I'll fucking set you on fire. You walk up here, I'm gonna set you on fire. Now that right there, I've never heard that going up to that. Going up to that moment, I've never heard anybody threaten lighting somebody on fire. It's a good threat. It's a really good threat. But so I stole that one from him, and telling that kid to get out. But then after I told everybody, listen, don't use the bathroom, nobody did. Um, and then so I could enjoy myself a little bit, I went out on the front porch and just tried to have some conversation with some old friends, that I haven't seen in a while. And I'm sitting out there having just a chat with a friend, and I look to my left, and this kid's still fucking here. He's still there. I see his dumbass face, and like this kid. You ever look at somebody and they're visibly stupid? I hate to, like, I'm sorry to say it. There's some people that, like, you look at and you're like, you look clueless. You look like you don't know where you're at. You look like you don't know what were the steps that got you to this moment, but you're just here for the moment. Like, you're just here living, and you just have no fucking awareness of what's going on around you. Visibly stupid. There's some people that just look visibly dumb. And all the power to you. He could be smarter than me, but doesn't look it, from first glance. But I see this kid out of the corner of my eye. I'm gonna talk. I'm like, hold on one second. And I stand up and I go, didn't I just tell you to get the fuck out of my house and leave this? Like, leave here. Didn't I just tell you? And so that was a whole fiasco. It kind of like set me on fire again. And then I didn't want to like put balls on him. And one of my good friends is like, yo, Dries, are you telling him to leave and he's not leaving? I said, I told that nigga to leave 3 times, and I'm not telling him again. If I have to tell him again, I'm going to have to put paws on him. And he's like, chill out, Dries, you do your thing. We'll get him out of here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I got him out of there. So bad that I want to just fight. I mean, in that moment, it would have been worth it, honestly. But I'm glad for that kid because he would have had, after like the first 1 or 2 punches, I'm not even fighting him for him. That's just all of the shit that's made me mad in the past 10 years that I'd be just letting out on that. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that at all. I need to get help. No, but yeah, so then that happened, and then next thing you know, I like a beer gets spilled on my computer. That didn't make me that happy either. Didn't make me happy at all. So I couldn't shoot a Wednesday podcast because I didn't have a computer all week. It's kind of blew. But I'm very lucky. I'm very, 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 very lucky to have good people in my life, and I got a new computer. So, and I think it was about time for me to get a new computer, but um, I just didn't want it to happen like that. But it did, and it is what it is. But that night, I was like, I mean, I bought a 15 pack of Bud Lights. I might have drank 3 of them. Like I couldn't. I couldn't even like have fun and have a good time at my own goddamn party because I was just getting shit on left and right. Like I just got the worst end of the stick when it comes to everything that has to do with that party. And it was supposed to be an outside party in the first place. If it was outside, I wouldn't have had a single problem. But it wasn't, you know? And it is what it is. But I wish I could say that it was a lot of fun, but it wasn't for me. I think everybody else had a good time. But I mean, through the past week, um, we had Ash Wednesday and the beginning of Lent. Today's Friday. No meat today. Um, and I do feel myself getting closer to God. It's been good. Like just through. I mean, I went to New York City on Thursday last week and got to meet with a mentor and also get to walk around the city a little bit. That's also nice. But trying to figure out what I'm doing this summer, and I have it figured out. Um, I'll probably come out with more details in next week or in the next 2 weeks. Um, but um, I've made a bunch of like pretty big steps in the next week. So, I mean, in the last week. So it's been good. It's definitely different than it has been the past couple years because the past couple years it's like for internships it was just choose where you want to go and then you just kind of go there. But this year I really had to focus on like what I wanted to get out of the internship. So like with the golf thing, it was I'm working at a golf course or doing something in that sense and um it's just all golf. Now I really have to worry about like skill building and also what's going to give me the highest rate of exposure to a certain industry or skill, right? So this kind of gets into having a goes back to like one of the first couple podcasts that I've done about having a vision, right? So with my particular vision of what I want to do in the future, what kind of skills do I need? Like what are the top three skills you that I would need to have? Um, and let's just say just generally, um, generally I want to do my own thing at some point. I want to be some sort of an entrepreneur. Okay. Let's not talk about anything specific, but just that I want to be an entrepreneur. Okay. And what kind of skills am I going to need to have to become an entrepreneur? Well, no matter what the product is, I'm going to have to sell it. It's kind of a given. Sales is definitely one. Negotiating, innovation, some sort of creativity, a a bigger picture view, um, a a drive. You need to have discipline. You need to be able to work hard, work tirelessly. Another part of entrepreneurship that a lot of people don't talk about too is that it's not a job that somebody else is setting your hours. You have to set your own hours. You're working for yourself, you have to set your own hours. And being able to dedicate yourself to actually doing what you want to do, you have to learn how to set your own out, not only set your own hours, but work beyond your limits a little bit and push yourself to be where you want to be. I think there's a lot of people that do start their own thing, but they treat it like a job where they're only there from 9 to 5. They go into the office and then they leave the office and then that's it. Where I think that the best of entrepreneurs go and their entire life is their business. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying in that regard. But those are some of the skills that you need to be an entrepreneur, right? Is sales, negotiation, discipline, hard work, and being able to like set your own schedule and do being able to work for yourself. You have to be able to have the discipline and work ethic to actually do it every single day. So my biggest question was, what job can I get that will not only teach me these skills, but give me the most amount of exposure to actually trying to use the skill. And so I started looking around, and there's a bunch of really good companies that are offering like advertisement sales positions for interns. There's sales rep positions for various products and different industries that I could get in. And one thing that kind of stuck out to me was door to door sales. And which sounds it sounds wild. I'm not gonna lie, it just sounds wild. Like door to door sales is like exposure therapy to the max, and it's purely commission based, and it's like you gotta. It's quite literally one of the hardest jobs that you can have, but that job. Sorry, excuse me. I have like in the morning after this coffee, like get like the worst acid reflux, but the job of like door to door sales is going to give me the most exposure to these things. It's going to make me have to be disciplined. It's going to make me have to work hard. It's going to make me stretch past my limits to knock on just one door, one more door. Um, one more door, one door more than the next guy because it is a competitive atmosphere, and um, which is another really good part of the job is that it is competitive, and it's like I said, it's commission based. So there's a lot of different positives. I mean, and there's a ton of negatives too. There could be a ton of negatives. Like I could go down there, fucking suck, and leave with no money. You know, nothing's guaranteed. But that's I think the good part about it is it forces us as salesmen to sell and to be out there until we do sell. Um, and I'm trying to get a couple buddies to go down with me and do the thing. But choosing who it is that I want to go with me has been rather difficult, if I would say. Um, I don't know. It's been interesting, but that seems like the avenue that I'm gonna go down this summer. Um, and yeah, it's just been kind of a crazy last week trying to figure out Like, if that's the best thing for me, and also, like, what am I giving up for doing that? I'm kind of giving up the opportunity to not work in finance, but mm, my opportunity to a lot of corporate gigs. I don't think that I was ever cut out to be the corporate finance guy or to be like the investment banking guy. I don't think that that was ever me. As much as I love the industry and I love a lot of people that do that, um, I could be working with those guys when they're giving me money for my business. But no, seriously, like, I think that there's been a wave of independency, and I don't even know if that's a word, but um, really, since I've been getting closer to God, it's like I need to I need to stop worrying about even the mentors that I look up to the most. I need to stop worrying about the path that they want me to take, and I need to start worrying about the path that God wants me to take. And I think the path that God wants me to take is the path that I've always wanted to take in my entire life, and that's an entrepreneurial journey. Um, and my mentors have done a lot for me, and so I feel like I have an obligation to do well for myself and then repay all of the people that have done for me in some way or another. But what comes first in that journey is doing shit for myself and taking the path that I think is necessary, taking the most efficient path that I think is necessary um, to get to where I want to go. And now is taking the next leap. And in that next leap is, I think, where I'm gonna start to break out of my shell of not really making that much money, just kind of focusing just on school. I think this summer I'll see a different side of myself where I can come back to school, not only come back to school and just do school, but I'll be coming back to school and making money while I'm at school, or um, have enough money to actually pay for the fucking school in the first place, um, up front rather than going into debt. There's a lot of different factors that go into it, but I think that the summer is probably gonna be the biggest summer yet. Um, just because it's my last summer at school. Next summer is I'll be graduated. I'll be out actually in the real world. And hopefully getting a job doing something temporarily so I can stack some cheese and then try to try to do my dang. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see what goes on. I'm flying to Austin, Texas, actually tonight. I'll be there this weekend from Friday to Sunday. And so I'll go down and I'll meet some people that are in this company that I'm going to be with. And so this is kind of a tester to who these people are, um, what it's going to be like. Gonna have some fun down there. There's a couple competitions and stuff to maybe make some money. Um, you can win some stuff. There's cool prizes, cool incentives for everything. So that's exciting stuff. And um, yeah, so we will figure it out. But today I'm gonna have to cut it short. I don't have too much time. I gotta pack up. I gotta get ready for the weekend and also spring break this week. You'll definitely be hearing from me on Wednesday and next Sunday. So expect everything to kind of get back on schedule in the next upcoming weeks. But I appreciate everybody for watching, and again, I'm sorry for not coming out the last couple episodes. It's been tough, but I'm sticking to it, sticking to my guns. This is what I love to do. So, um, hopefully next time you see me, I have something a little bit more interesting to talk about. But that's kind of what's been going on, and I will talk to you guys later. All right, toodaloo.